Hello, people. Another beautiful day. Yep. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. What? What's up, Steam Deck fans? Steam Deck Tribe, Steam Deck Nation, Steam Deck Universe, Steam Deck World, Steam Deck Legion was good. Steam Deck Mob was happening. Steam Deck Squad what's up. And to you Steam Deck nerds, geeks, and freaks, and you investigators. So, the Steam Deck with 32 gigs of RAM? That's what one modder did. The Steam Deck investigators. So remember when Valve opened the Steam Deck and they were showing the inside of it? Remember I told you the modding community had something to say about that, and they did. With 32 gigs of RAM. Listen to this. What's up, PCN Games? Says here the Steam Deck modder gives your Valve handheld an excessive upgrade. Like any gaming PC, the Steam Deck isn't free of mods and upgrades, and now someone has doubled the available RAM on Valve handheld. Says here, even some of the best PCs struggle with demanding system requirements of modern games, and the Steam Deck is no different. The demands of the best Steam Deck games can leave the handheld struggling to keep up. Anyway, so it's no wonder why some have taken it up on themselves to mod the available RAM on Valve's PC gaming handheld. Says here, originally posted by X, formerly known as Twitter, user Bailica011 shared their whopping 32 gig RAM Steam Deck modification. A doubling of the retail unit, 16 gigabytes. Upgrading your PC RAM is often fairly straightforward, though it's a little fiddler with the device the size of the Steam Deck. It says here, and adding extra RAM onto your deck would require you to take the device apart, solder on the RAM, and edit the BIOS to ensure the operating system acknowledge the newly acquired upgrade. Wow, that's pretty impressive. It says here, while we're only in the second year of the Steam Deck lifespan, seeing Bailic 011 RAM mod does make me question when we're likely to hear anything regarding a potential Steam Deck 2. The demanding Starfield requirement, Baldur's Gate 3 system requirement, and those are the biggest new PC game could necessitate an updated Steam Deck model down the line with more RAM, a better battery life, and even an OLED screen. We can dream, can't we? Then he says, check out the best SSD for gaming. If all this talk of modding the Steam Deck makes you want to give your handheld a little spruce, you should also check out the best micro SD for Steam Deck if you want to upgrade the device without the struggle of taking it apart. Sometimes a little extra space is all you need. 32 gigs of RAM on Steam Deck, huh? That's more like it. Anyway, what else? What else I got here for you? Let's see here. Now I got another article here from I think from Tweaktown here, talking about refurbished Steam Decks. Listen to this. What's up, Tweaktown? Listen to this. It says here, let me knock this out real quick. It says here, want a Steam Deck on the cheap? It looks like Valve may be selling official refurbished handhelds. Refurb models for Valves are set to start at $319 for the base 64 gig portable, and could run up to $519 for the 512 version of the handheld. It says here, Valve could have plans in the works to refurbish Steam Deck portables and sell them if fresh clues spotted online are anything to go by. It says here, PC gamers report that Pavel, let me get this. Whoops. The screen kept jumping. Let me get this here. Says PC gamers report that Pavel D-Junk, creator of SteamDB, spotted that Valve had concocted some listing for certified refurbished Steam Deck models in all sizes, 64 gig, 256, and 512. Those listings in the Steam Deck database have since been removed, as expected with leaks such as this, but it's pretty solid suggestion that this is Valve's plan in the future or at least the company is exploring this as a possibility. As for pricing, the uncover info shows the Steam Deck 64 gig selling at $319, with the 256 gig model at $419 and the 512 gig deck at $519. Some folks on Twitter quickly spotted that these prices are the same as the Steam Deck sold for in Valve recent sale for a portable gaming PC. Warrior64 on Twitter also grabbed some screenshot of the product listing where the handheld were shown as out of stock, but those links to the Steam Deck store no longer works. And then it says here, this does seem to indicate that Valve might have these refurbished Steam Deck on sale sooner rather than later, but we shall see. The price could be placeholders, of course, but they seem likely a level to pitch at, and a fair old bargain for those who can't wait until another sale on the new model rolls around. The Steam Deck is gathering momentum, as witnessed by the growing amount of Linux gamers on the Steam. Linux gamers playing on Steam, with Linux distros now overtaking Mac. Hits RPG Baldur's Gate 3 runs nicely on the deck too, by all counts. All right, that's the end of the the article. If I can get this. Oops. That's the end of both articles. So when Valve first showed the Steam Deck in that little video, they opened the back of it. They opened the back of the Steam Deck, and they were showing the inside. The modding community was like, okay, we got something to say about that. We got something to say about that, and they did. And now a modder now, aka Steam Deck Investigator, took it upon himself now and upgraded the RAM on the Steam Deck. So now the Steam Deck is now 32 gigs of RAM. But you gotta know, but you gotta know how to mod. If you know how to build PCs and you were modding PCs back then this is for you. So this modder upgrade the RAM from 16 to 32, and by updating the BIOS. Valve probably look into that too. I'm saying Valve probably look into that too, and probably be like, you know what? They'll probably look at it and say, okay, you know what? Maybe we need to let people update the RAM on this, upgrade the RAM on the Steam Deck. You know, by like manually install it. Maybe they probably take a couple like a 512, 64 gig, 256, 512, and do some tinkering with it and see what they can come up with, and probably have that have the Steam Deck running 32 gigs of RAM instead of 16. They could do that, you know. They do have the option to do that. So the year's not over. We'll see what they do, but this was a good move by this modder here, who came up with the who put the Steam Deck to the test. 32 gigs of RAM. That's more like it. You know what I'm saying? What's this modder's name? Let's see here. What's his name? Baylika 11. Baylika 11. You know, he fiddle. What he said? He wow. Let's see here. See if I can get this. So the statement remains true. It shows the picture here on Twitter too. Where's he at? Baylika 11, and it shows the picture here on Twitter. Yeah, and he said the article talks about going into the BIOS, because BIOS stands for our basic input output system. And if you've been building PCs and you know how to fiddle with the BIOS and change things, especially when you're overclocking your PCs and stuff, then this is for you. So yeah, the statement remains true. We couldn't find a game the Steam Deck couldn't run. 32 gigs of RAM? Oh yeah, excellent. Yeah, that's more like it. That's more like it, man. 32 gigs of RAM. That's more like it. Man, if you know how to go inside the BIOS, and you got to solder the RAM to the board though. That's what you got to do. You know, like solder the RAM to the board and then fiddle with the change up the BIOS a little bit, and then it'll get it to work. It says here, user Bailey 11 shared their whopping 32 gig RAM Steam Deck modification, a doubling of retail units 16 gigs. Upgrade your PC RAM is often fairly straightforward. There's always a little fiddler with the device, the size of the Steam Deck. It says adding the extra RAM to your Steam Deck requires you to take the device apart, meaning taking the Steam Deck apart, solder on the RAM, edit the BIOS to ensure the operating system acknowledge the newly acquired upgrade. See me? That's in my alley. I could give that a go. I could because I do PC repair, and I have some certifications in computer repair and networking. So this is up my alley. So yeah, 32 gigs of RAM. Oh yeah, that's more like it. I'm sure he's getting comments, all kind of comments about this right now, about like how did you pull this off? You know, what did you have to do? You know, and stuff like that. Yeah. Steam Deck, folks. Look, man, we couldn't find a game the Steam Deck couldn't run. 32 gigs of RAM, folks. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Especially with Baldur's Gate and Starfield. Now the question is now, does the fan noise stay the same, or does it increase or decrease? So yeah. But 32 gigs of RAM on the Steam Deck? Oh yeah. Valve, you see what you created? When you open the back of the Steam Deck, man. When you open the back of the Steam Deck that on that very day, the modding community was like this. Like the Sentinels on the Matrix, when the Sentinels open the ship, you see them little feet moving, them little hands moving. The modding community was like, oh really? We got something to say about that. And they just did. 32 gigs of RAM, folks. Read it and weep. Anyway, what's the other article here I got? What's the other one here? Valve selling our refurbished Steam Decks. That's a good idea. They did open, when I was covering the Steam Deck earlier, they did open like four repair centers worldwide. So to cover the if you want to get your Steam Deck repaired. So maybe they're selling refurbished Steam Decks, or maybe the prices that you're talking about is for like the Steam Deck might be getting a price drop or something. That's what it looks like. You know, based on the article that I just read. So we'll see what Valve do, because if they're selling it for, it might be a price drop. Because if they're selling the let's see here. 64 gig for $319, 256 for $419, and 512 for $519. Maybe it's a price drop. Maybe the Steam Deck is getting a price drop. It may be, or maybe they're selling the refurbish. But based on the picture shots they're showing, it doesn't say. It does say refurbish. It says refurbish. So those refurbished Steam Decks must be from the repair center. Must be from the repair centers that they had open. So we'll see what they do with these refurbished Steam Decks, you know, or those prices that they're showing for the refurbish might be a price drop for the Steam Deck. Just saying. So yeah, other than that, yeah, I'll keep you guys posted what's going on. But now 32 gigs of RAM. Steam Deck, folks. 32 gigs of RAM. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars, a Star Trek thing. Or Dark Side. Go. Peace.